Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Boston here with Writing with Agents. I'm here with Chris. Today we're going to be taking you through Prosper. And Chris, again, if you want to introduce yourself and kind of talk about yourself a little bit, we'll kind of go from there.
Thank you, Boston. So my name is Chris Mendez with the Mendez Group. And we are here in Prosper. And one of the things about Prosper is a smaller town. It feels a little, more of a small town, but it has tons of stuff that you can do in the area as well. Population is about 35,000, so it's not a huge city compared to the neighbor Frisco to the south, but it is projected to grow by the year 2040 to about 135% of the population. So their projections are pretty large in this area because there's a lot of land here to build. And one of the things that Prosper is known for, or that they love around here, is the master communities. And one of the ones is Winston Ranch that we're actually driving here, and it's just a beautiful community. It has tons of amenities, from gym, from community community buildings. It has tennis courts. It has just a bunch of stuff to do for the family, for the kids. And obviously their highlight is their Crystal Lagoon, which is like a beach type of lagoon, crystal clear waters with white sand in the shore. And then it has restaurants and things that you can kayak. I think you can paddleboard also. And there's a house for sale here. Look at that. And but it's a really nice community if somebody is wanting to obviously move into the Prosper area. Prosper is located right above Frisco, to the north, and it's about 35-40 minutes from Dallas, downtown Dallas. So it's not too crazy, not too far, but it's pretty close proximity to DFW airport and Love Field as well. And another house for sale here. Look at that. Mm-hmm. So I was gonna tell you this. I did some research about how many houses are for sale here, and there are about 52, I believe, that right now are for sale in this area. I mean, it's a master community, so 52 is not a lot, because there's I think there's over 300-400 houses here, and they keep building because it keeps expanding the community here. But anyway, if you are able to buy a house here in Winston Ranch, you're gonna have tons of stuff to do here in Winston Ranch. And like this master community, there's other ones that are popping up in Prosper. And if we get a chance, we can go and drive by. But anyway, one of the things that I was telling Boston earlier is, the buyers nowadays in this market here in North Texas have a little more negotiation power than what they did or what they had 2-3 years ago, when the craziness of the bidding wars and the market was just a little crazy for buyers. Now, if you are planning, if you're looking to move to the Prosper area, now's a good time because you can negotiate more with the seller. Inventory is still low. However, because of interest rates, we don't have as many. Okay, so there's the lagoon right here, like the sign. We're trying to see if we can get in, but it's right there to the right.
Wow, yeah.
And not sure if we can get a shot of that, but it's a pretty cool area, to be at. We had a listing here a year ago or so, and we get to walk the beach and kind of experience a little bit. We didn't get into the water
for sure.
because we were working obviously but it was pretty fun. So going back to what the buyers, the negotiation power that they have here is because yes, the interest rates are a little higher than what they were a year ago, 2 years ago. So they do have more, they can negotiate more with the seller at this point. And what I tell my buyers is, hey, I know the interest rates are higher. However, historically, this is pretty much what a market looks like, in a normal situation, right? But there's always the option to refinance, in a year and a half, 2 years, and then you're getting the house at today's price. And then when you refinance, then you're even capitalizing on that because your mortgage payment will be lower, but you made tons of equity, from here to whenever you refinance at that point. So it's a win-win situation for you as a buyer. And this community, like the houses are, a little different from what we were seeing in Frisco. You have a little more of the white colors here, gray and black, and then you have some traditional, brick colors for the elevations of the houses. But it's a great area. So it's a beautiful area to live in for sure.
And then, I'm definitely seeing whenever I moved here like 10, 15 years ago, it looked nothing like this. There were not a lot of, suburbs, or there were not a lot of communities.
Yeah.
And you see them popping up everywhere now. So you can see that a lot of people are moving here, and it's all modern. It's all very sleek looking. So you can tell that they've been built very recently. Comparative to Frisco, how would you rate the school system and even home prices?
So the schools are pretty good also. There's this school here in the area. So the schools, the last time I checked, obviously sometimes when you see things online, it's a little iffy because these are new communities, and sometimes websites don't have the time to really grade certain new schools.
For sure.
But in general, they're in the A+ school ratings. They have about let me see, I made some notes here. They have about 14 elementary schools here. They're actually building another high school. There's one that was built in 2022 and Rock Hill High School in 2020, and there's another one that they're gonna be building, or they're finishing up in the fall of 2023, and I believe it's called Walnut Grove. I believe, yeah. And I mean they finished the school a year ahead of schedule, which is huge for the city to finish the school so quick. But it just shows the need that they have, because it's just growing so much, this area. And as far as home prices, you get a little bit of everything. Like specifically in Windsor Ranch where we're at, you do have from the mid 400s and all the way to 1.2 million. The 400s are smaller houses. I think there's some that are 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. So it might be just for somebody that wants to retire, want to enjoy the amenities here, the beach feel. That would be a good, maybe a good fit for them. And then you have the higher end houses also and builders in this area. In Prosper in general, you're gonna find pretty much that price range. There is lower end houses as well, like new developments. You can find houses for 350, 300s. That's a little bit up in the air. I don't think there's, as far as I know. But the more north you go, probably you'll find some houses in that price range for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. As I'm going through these areas, I've never really been around here too much, but it's kind of insane to see how little, like how many houses here are there. They look brand new. I feel like if I was sitting in this area maybe like 10 years ago, there wouldn't be a single house here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane to see how much growth there's been. Have you do you know anything about the like growth rate, or like how like the population has changed so much in this area, especially when it comes to Prosper and Celina? Do you see a ton of people moving over here?
Yes, so this area has been I want to get the numbers right. Last time I checked, it was one of the fastest growing cities in North Texas, or in the whole state. And you know, I'm not sure about the exact numbers, like what the population growth is, but just what I mentioned earlier, by 2040, they're expecting, you know, this area to be 135%. You know, is the growth that they're experiencing.
Yeah, and that's
they expecting.
Absolutely. I mean, you see even like right here how many houses are getting built in this area. It just seems like all throughout here they're just going to keep building and building, because that's what we used to think about Prosper. Whenever I went to high school here, you know, 10 to 15 years ago, there was one high school and everyone in Prosper went to that high school. And now they're obviously building more high schools. They're building, and you know, we used to think everyone had a lot of land out here. But I mean, this is just crazy how many buildings you see are getting built.
Yes,
I mean, it's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, and in this community here, this area, you have I'll say about from 7 builders maybe to 10 builders. So there's a lot of people involved here, and you see they're cleaning up this lot here in the front. So they're just gonna, I mean, Texas, you know, we're blessed with flat land, so we can build anywhere pretty much, you know, except in certain cases. But if, you know, there's space and there is a house for everyone, you know, you just gotta give them some time to build enough houses for everyone. But I mean, Prosper is I would say, people that work from home, it is just kind of like a perfect scenario for them, because they're not too close to the city and they're not too far, and then they don't have to commute, which is great, you know. And they can get a new house, you know, fresh start here in Prosper. And we just have all type of construction going on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's just insane to see how much they're building.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
You know. But yeah, is there anything else you kind of want to say before we move on? Is there anything, you know, even if you want to give them kind of like what we said last time, that 1 or 2 sentence gist of what it's like to live in Prosper?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a city that, you know, it's a smaller city than what Frisco is, obviously. So it's a city that's still growing, you know, and yes, it has growing pains like any other city, right, that it's growing. So traffic, especially on 380, which is one of the main highways in the area, it does get congested. You know, we're not gonna sugarcoat anything here. It does get congested, but obviously, like any other city, you're gonna have those type of stuff going on. They are planning to widen or extend the highway 380. You know, might become just a big highway, you know, straight shot to Prosper and the north of Frisco in there, and especially with all the development that's going on in that area with the PGA, with Universal Studios. Prosper will have more developments of hospitals and restaurants and all these commercial areas, and we kind of went to the
we're in like the
boonies here.
Yeah, it's insane. All right. But yeah, I guess it's a good time to end it. Kind of showed you guys a little bit of everything here. Yeah, I know that Prosper High School and stuff is deep that way, so we just kind of came through Prosper. But is there anything else you kind of want to say before we call it?
Let me see. One of the you know, big companies that, you know, for employment purposes, is First United Bank, Penske Motor, and Cook's Children Medical Center also. And I would say, like, if you are in the medical industry, in the medical field, I mean, there's tons of jobs, you know, in the North Texas area.
Yeah,
Frisco,
sure.
Prosper, McKinney, Celina. Obviously, there's tons of stuff that you can find here, hospitals, clinics. But all in all, you know, it's a great place to kind of start, you know, if you're growing a family, great schools, family oriented, and, you know, and there's tons of stuff to do out here. Restaurants are great also. And if you don't find it in Prosper, you know what, you can drive 5 minutes to Frisco and you'll find it there.
And that's kind of and that's kind of what I like to tell people is, if, you know, whether you're moving to Prosper, you know, Celina, Frisco, or, you know, the Colony, they kind of all intertwine. You know, you have D&T, 380, 121. They all, you know, it's a very quick trip to any of these areas. You know, we talk about Grandscape and the Colony too. If you're trying to go to any of these areas, it's like a 5 or 10 minute car ride, you know?
Yes.
And that's awesome. But once again, guys, thank you guys for visiting and watching the video. Once again, if you guys are interested in working with Chris, make sure to hit that connect with the realtor button. He'll be able to help you guys out, and we'll get it going from there. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.